Alright, so making this quick video, when we use the word schizo, I feel like that word has gone way out of proportion to a wider tent that now includes almost any and every conspiracy theory, no matter from somewhat reasonable to borderline insane. And I think I would just like to walk that back a little bit, just because to me, genuine schizophrenia or schizophrenic behavior is like when I took psychology 101 in college, and you read the real dispatches of people, women, men who have schizophrenia, and the wild shit they say. It's not the same. Like schizo ramblings, like a guy talking about 9/11 and how it might or might not have been an inside job, is not schizo. That's just conspiracy theory. Schizo is the woman who thought the Kremlin put tiny agents in her vagina and that it was spying on her. Shout out Psych 101 if you've ever taken that course and you remember that. Because I remember reading that and I was like, what the fuck? Actual schizo is like that mother that was pushing her dead baby's corpse in a child swing during a an episode and still thinking that it was alive. That that is honest to God, that is real schizo. So like the next time you throw it around just because somebody's like entertaining conspiracy theory ideas, I think that not only are you just like taking schizophrenia lightly, but you're also kind of like, I don't know. It's just the reason why this evolution came about to me is the fact that now, because of the internet and because progressivism and like this kind of like center left moderate position has become mainstream. So it's like a mixture of SJWs and liberal Democrats sharing like the grand stage or like the moral support, when 20 years ago or so, at the beginning of the millennium, everything was more libertarian or at least center right just by default. And I say that to mean that conspiracy theories were always wacky, but now in the modern age where more and more people tend to believe them, or at least in my opinion more people are honest about how much they believe in them, that makes people want to bully them into submission, or basically they think that they're doing a community service by maintaining quote unquote order by labeling everything that goes against official narratives as quote unquote schizo. So that is how we got to where we are, even though actual schizophrenia is so bizarre and out there. And I think just with this therapy word salad that we're used to, like how we take these therapy terms and run with them, I think schizo became something we ran with, just because not only are we dying to label everything, but also because anything that deviates from the norm is dangerous and scary. Leftists, anything pro Palestine, anything that's like technically sympathetic to China. That's not to say that you should suck the dick of these countries or praise them just because you want to be anti American, but that goes to show you that on top of that, everybody's kind of just picks and chooses which official narratives they like and which they don't, because this kind of like anti-establishment feeling or sentiment just really got split right down the middle of the political divide, which is why we're polarized between the extremes or the moderates of the left and the right. But the only thing they have in common is hating the middle. And I guess that's what leaves this video kind of tricky, because it almost sounds like I'm arguing in favor of conspiracy theories, but I'm not really. I'm just showing you how this one word got blown out of proportion from a very real um, mental condition, or I don't know what to call it or what would be the politically correct way of addressing it, but it is a real thing, and you're not gonna tell me that believing Bush did 9/11, I say that jokingly, is the same as somebody who thinks the Kremlin is in her vagina. So there's that. You know, anti-vaxxers, QAnon. But then that's ironic because then um, I feel like different sides of the same political factions just use conspiracy theories to point the finger at the other, even though OG conspiracy theorists were just against government as a whole. But I guess now everything's partisan, so, which is a fancy word of saying now everything's just split Democrat, Republican, and it's just both of them pointing their fingers at each other. I don't know. Just a quick food for thought.